An idea from this group of what kind of roles you might have right now in actually helping programs through the application program process. So how many of you work with providers in helping them get an application submitted? Okay. And I know some of you are help desk folks and are answering questions on the help desk side. What other roles do we have?
Well, Lisa, once everyone requests funds from the GAE, the QRS coordinators need to know how to go in and approve it, so that's why we're here.
Oh, very good, very good. So we will get to that side because then that will be when you'll do the accepting of their application and moving it to stages to, you guys will probably trigger the MOUs in that case, is that right? That's what I was thinking.
Lisa, for me, it's understanding when to send MOUs and then how to make any revisions to that MOU. We work those out after it comes back to be in line with minimums, minimum spending, minimum hours.
Okay.
As required by the OEC. So making sure that sugar generates an automatic number, and sometimes that number is not accurate.
Right, I probably changed, except with race to the top, I probably changed every single one of them.
So understanding that a little bit better of when that window of opportunity to make revisions is. I'd like to do it before it goes out, even though the specific numbers are not there, but sometimes you can't until it's signed and then you can.
So I think this is some good information to hear. I'm not in a position to make any changes about that. I can share what I do, and the rest of the people in the audience can talk about what they do. And I want to make sure that everybody does know Bill. He may be the one that sometimes responds to some of our tickets, but he really is the real big behind the scenes guy that makes this work the way that it works. And I'm probably one of the reasons why he's trying to make it so you can't mess it up. Because I tend to be a little bit of a risk taker and try things. And I have unfortunately caused Bill a little bit of work. So I want to thank him for doing that for me and apologize at the same time. But that has been a fair amount of the learning process. I had the benefit of being one of the communities that had the CCAP pilot funding when the CCAP pilot funding came out right after Colorado Shrines launched. And I think those of us really got a lot of training and support through that process. And so this is really a continuation of where we're at with these databases now and supporting everyone. So I think my first piece is that we can walk through the processes. But for those of you that have questions, I think it's really important for us to know what the questions are. It might be that some of your questions actually get answered in a different session, because this session is really about the application process and then the MOUs. And we do have the benefit today that some time will be able to be taken to talk about what will happen with all of the Race to the Top applications that have come in that will be in the GAE process versus within our budgets. So that will be handled in sugar a little bit differently than we handle all of our other applications and MOUs. So some time to go through that. So I guess what I need to know is, does anybody need to see the support process in Salesforce with programs? And do you have any questions on that side of supporting a program on filling out their application then? You do?
No, well, just in general, sometimes they're not able to view it, so we switch it around.
Right,
Sometimes,
Chrome, just use Chrome.
And then sometimes they're not able to fill it out because like the CCAP grant was locked and changing, being able to unlock it, so for sites that have been pre-approved.
Okay, it's the ones that didn't necessarily meet the criteria initially, you mean, and
Yeah.
that they now can?
Right, and then we go in and change it, you guys just did that for me.
Okay, and I should do it and let you, I know some of you, but I don't necessarily know all of you. And so my name is Lisa Sauter, and I work for the Early Childhood Council of Larimer County. So I work for a council. My role is really around a fair amount of the grant management. When this first launched, I did a huge amount of supporting programs through the applications in Salesforce. So I sat right next to them, helped them fill out their applications. Then I was back in my office and processing them on the other side of that. And then with that CCAP pilot, walked everything through every step of the reconciliation. So I've been through a huge amount of the whole process with these. But I don't know all your answers because you had questions.
You probably will get to this, but I do have an application that's in, the status is preliminary, and I can't figure out, does that mean it's in progress?
They haven't submitted
it?
They haven't
Because
submitted
in the
it.
past, I think it said in progress.
So, well, actually, Bill might be able to give us the technical difference between the in progress versus the preliminary on an application status.
So those are actually, one of those is an application status and the other one is a requisition status.
Okay,
So requisitions are preliminary, meaning that they can't be spent, and an application is in process if someone is actively working in it. So that means that they're like, working in it and they didn't quite finish, so they left, and so they still have more questions to answer. And so once they finish it, they're gonna hit that submit button, at which point the status will be submitted.
So if it's in the requisition area, does that mean there's something I need to do?
it means the application hasn't been moved to an accepted status,
It's going to be waitlisted.
so then it needs to be moved to the waitlisted
Okay, so we
status.
need to-
And it will change, that status will change once the application status changes.
All right. Thank you.
Lisa,
Yes,
can you hand the microphone to Bill next time he answers a question, please?
yes. So any other questions on that side of it? So you want to go just right into sugar then? Is that what you guys want to do? Okay.
So one thing, everyone. So right now, so staging is a smaller environment. We don't use it very much, which is good because it saves cost, but it's not so good because there's really cool people using it right now and we can get anything to load. So if you wouldn't mind, for now, I think if everyone just logged out of staging and kind of followed along and just watched us up here, then we can get through it on the big screen that we can just watch and take notes. Sound good?
If they have work that they need to do in sugar, under the regular sugar and the regular login, they could choose to be there right now?
Sure, so if you want to follow along in production, that's fine. Just remember that you're actually editing real records. So,
And those emails, that means those emails won't go to Rick, they will go to your people.
correct.
If you log out of staging and log in.
So if you look up at the top, in staging, the top bar is green. Whereas if you're in production, which means the real sugar, it's going to be black. So anytime it's black, you're sending emails to real people. Anytime it's green, you're just bugging Rick, and that's okay.
You do that anyway, right? All right, so. Guess we can wait for this to load, or if anybody has an input. So, maybe Bill, while we're waiting for this, you could tell us about the status of people being able to fill out their applications for RTT right now, and what happened with the split process and all that, in terms of what it did to the application.
Sure. So for anyone who doesn't know, over this weekend I split up all of the RTT funding streams. So previously they were basically going over 2 years, and we decided that they needed to be 2 separate funding streams, each spanning just a year. And so we kind of had a very fun data project of splitting all this up. And so basically, all of the applications now are associated with the new funding stream. And there are going to be, anyone who had requisitions that were created before May 1st now has 2 sets of requisitions. And the old ones are going to be associated with the 15-16 funding stream, and those are going to be archived. And so they're going to have a $0 remaining balance, and you can't use them anymore, but you're going to have a new one associated with the 16-17 funding stream, and those ones you can use just like you used the previous ones. And so the application status is going to be the same for all of those.
So what I was talking about was one of our navigators was trying to walk the program through filling out their race to the top applications because they had
Was this
just,
yesterday?
yes.